Hi, welcome back to the show. My name is Cranston, and you are on Nugget Junction. We are several episodes into it, and we're back again with my co-host on the other end there.
That's me, Linda.
Is it Linda Mitheo this time, or are we dealing with another Linda?
Chilemba today. Actually, where's the Chilemba?
Where are the glasses? Yeah, Congolese.
Today we bring out Chilemba. Miss Chilemba.
Wait, you gotta put some Congolese music right there
I'm telling you,
to
right,
get
in the
into
background
it.
music.
Which coffee?
Check that out.
Linda Mitheo, aka Chilemba Mitheo. There's more to come.
That's what's up.
You might as well just burst into Lingala or something.
We'll leave that for another episode. I can't show you all of me in one episode, can I?
Yeah, that's true. Well, so we are meeting another. We are apparently meeting another version of Linda. So we'll see how this episode is gonna go.
Oh,
Yeah, but keep the glasses on. They look good.
You like?
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's Congolese
nice.
vibes happening.
You know what I'm
there.
saying? They're coming through. Eh?
You can't avoid these things.
I love it.
However, with that Congolese vibe, we also have.
Lydia Taban.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Taban?
Taban.
With an N?
Yeah.
Taban.
Some will say Taban and some will say Taban.
Taban?
Taban?
I say
That's
Taban?
so Aussie.
Lydia, the way we normally start with every guest, the first question or the idea behind the conversation would be, how did we get here? And by how did we get here, we don't mean that in a geographical location like here,
Yeah.
but it means like in this space and time.
Hey guys, my name is Lydia and I am right here. Lydia Taban from Uganda.
Lydia Taban?
Yes.
Uganda? I was going to say, where's Taban from?
I better not hear Burundi, but anyways, yeah, I'm good. Uganda.
We're in Uganda.
Yes.
Nice.
Which part of
Welcome.
Uganda? The capital or like the...
No. Well,
What
actually,
number largest city is where you from?
I think Jinja's probably like the second biggest. I'm not too sure, to be honest. Like, that's where my mom is from.
Right.
Yeah, so I was born in Uganda, then grew up in Australia. So, yeah.
We are at the awesome and amazing Afro Authentic Lounge, Riverside,
Yeah.
with Perth City views, by the way.
Amen.
So, my parents, my mom is a Ugandan and my dad is Sudanese. So, how it happened is that my father fled the war in Sudan, yada yada. Well, back then it was Sudan. Now it's like, two Sudans, like, well, south and the north and everything. So
he came from South or the North Sudan?
South. He's
South
now,
Sudan.
like, yeah. He traveled to Uganda, and I think the whole family, is a refugee because like of the war and stuff like that. So they've been like in Uganda for like ages, and then through the process met my mom, and then they had me.
The lovely
Yes.
Miss Lydia.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
And I think it was about when I was like 5, 6 years old. Then we came to Australia, like through the UN, the process and stuff like that.
Refugee
Yeah, the
relocation
refugee,
program?
yeah.
Are you the
Something
only
like that?
child?
No,
From
I
your
am
parents?
not. I am the first and the
Nice.
fierce and the beautiful one. So
I like this one. Oh, dear.
First of how
I
many?
love it.
there's 5 of us, and I'm the first daughter. You know what's actually so cool? My parents are all both firstborn.
Nice.
Yeah, and I am a
Alright.
firstborn too. So it's like,
Very nice.
yes.
How is it being a firstborn? I hear y'all are bossy and meanies and...
Well, I've actually enjoyed my childhood. I think when I was alone, I was very spoiled because my siblings are way younger than me.
Oh, wow. What's the
Yeah.
gap?
Okay, well, yeah, what's the gap?
So I am in my 30s, early 30s. I don't want to say what.
Early 30s.
Let's just say 30.
I've given it
Anyways,
Bien.
yes. And then my brother, the second born, is like, I think he's 23, 24. Yeah. For a
All
while
right. So that's a bit of a gap. if you
yeah.
Quite a gap.
So I was
can math in.
alone
So
for
you're
a while.
way ahead of them. You got
Yeah.
bored of being the first. Like, yeah, guys, have some crumbs now that you're here.
Yeah, the gap is so big. And
Are all your siblings here?
yeah, they're all here. Like the last one is, I think she's 13.
All in
So?
WA?
Yeah, we're
Oh,
all
that's
here.
amazing.
Yeah, we're all here. So yeah. So yeah, I came
Did
here.
you study here?
Yeah, I studied here. So my primary school was here, and then high school Then from there, I messed around a little bit. It's the thing.
Like a
No, we want to know what
lengthy
mess
gap
around
year.
means. I mean, there's all kinds of messing around in life.
Yeah, gap year. Thank you. You don't know what to do. You're young. You want to have fun.
Of
You
course.
want to
So
be
you had too
like,
much fun?
I had fun.
You want to hear which fun?
Wait.
What happened?
Don't judge me.
No, nobody's judging. We're not here to judge.
I had
All
fun.
all I can say to the
I think I was
audience
discovering
is
myself.
for those that are watching, what you cannot see, and for those who are listening, what you cannot see is the number of tattoos this lady has, and she's well covered. So
Yes.
That's the kind
You
of
had quite a
covered
bit
by the
of
grace
fun.
of tattoos.
I know, right?
yeah, please continue.
Yeah. So I took a gap year. Then I went to uni. I studied sociology first, and then I decided to, because it was like, okay, I did the sociology, and then it's like, what are people gonna call me? When
a
you finish,
sociopath.
What's your title?
yeah, it's like, well, are you a sociologist? I'm like, nah, that doesn't sound right. I'm like, Then I'm like, nah, let me just do social work with it, because I think it was like the units were very similar kind of thing. I just needed to
Yeah.
do a year or two ahead to get the social work degree, and then I did it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a social worker.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That was out of ECU or something.
Yeah, I went to EC. How did you know?
Wild guess.
Stalker. Did you go to EC as well?
No.
Okay. You dab?
So I'm a Murdoch University born and bred,
Oh.
but employed by
Hardcore,
Curtin
is it?
University.
Oh.
So that is like a slap in their face.
It's like,
Yeah.
Funny thing I shouldn't disclose on the podcast is I take my Curtin University students and teach them at Murdoch. Just to spite the system.
okay.
And they love it.
They love it.
Yeah, one day we'll have Linda, we'll get one of my former students to come through and they can see how they preferred Murdoch more than
They do.
That's great.
yeah,
Oh, what did I like about Murdoch?
it's
compared
very
to-
laid back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Curtin is like a technology university.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's head in the clouds doing their thing.
Yeah?
And then Murdoch is more chilled. ECU is more ghetto. But anyway,
Come on, get out. God.
That's
So
a
you
lie.
got a
I
stigmatism.
mean, all the
Get
way
out
out
of
in the
here.
sticks in Junta Lab.
Oh, God.
We have 3 campuses, right? Sit down.
Oh, you got a city campus as well, by the way. Yeah, they're building a huge city campus.
Wait, ECU?
ECU, yeah.
For real?
But let's
Bunch
come
of
back to your
holes.
story. We digress.
Okay, let's get back to it. Where was
Yeah.
I?
So you
Fun.
finished the study.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I
then-
finished my studies and then I was working. Then I decided to, I had kids already. I was working. I worked. Do I have to say the name of the organization?
You're free to, but you don't have to.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. So I was working for a little bit and then I had my second born from there, and then I decided to really think about what I want to do in my life. Do I really want to work forever for somebody? Do I want to venture out? Do I want to do something for myself? It was just, I was just in a conflicted place. Let me just say this. I was really trying to understand, why did I go to school? Why was I learning? What is it
Yeah.
going to do for me?
Yeah,
I feel like I was like,
were you just following the routes
Yeah.
that people normally
I
follow?
was, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like this whole idea, other people might see it differently, but I just felt like I had to study because my parents wanted me to study. I mean, I'm grateful that I've done that. But if it was for me, I would have wanted to do other things before the study and all that stuff. So, but I'm good. So, I was just questioning what I really want in my life.
What do you mean do other things before studying? I mean,
I
what
don't want
else
to
is there
travel. Travel.
Right,
I would
travel's
love
interesting.
to travel, just live in different countries and just really experience culture, experience
Oh, I like
live in
that.
the environment, just all that stuff. I mean, I watch a lot of documentaries and I love just what other people are feeling and experiencing.
Nice.
You watch My Queens. Everyone knows that. You have a restaurant. You know My Queens, right?
Oh, I don't.
You don't?
No, what
He
did he
just-
do? Is that the guy who goes out on adventures?
He eats. He just travels to every country and just eats.
Just eats. Oh, wow.
Yeah, everyone knows my queens. Oh my god, he's amazing.
I
Sorry,
don't know,
McQueen.
McQueen.
Maybe one day we'll meet.
Yeah, probably we'll bring you on. We in fact consider this an open invitation.
Yes. Oh,
We can zoom you in an episode.
he
I
just
know,
goes. He
right?
doesn't go to like, urban lifestyle kind of thing, but he goes to the rural like.
Oh, nice.
like street food.
Yeah, street food, like the traditional food and stuff like that. He just eats.
Would you
and they
consider
cook.
yourself like a foodie, like a pseudo foodie?
I'm so picky. I would not say that. Oh no. I'll
All
eat,
right,
but
you're the one that eats one meal every time you come to the restaurant here. Did she tell you that?
yes.
Yeah, dude.
I do.
Every single time she
But
comes,
I
here, she
changed
orders the
today.
same dish
Yeah, I do.
all the time.
So you're very
Yes,
picky.
I'm very picky.
She's very safe.
I've never understood picky eaters.
Really?
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Food.
I know,
Food's
right?
amazing.
It's amazing, but yeah.
Right. So back to traveling.
Yes.
Did you end up fulfilling your dream?
No, I have not
for
because I
traveling?
decided to get. I ended up getting pregnant.
Right.
Yeah. So, I had my kids and back to that. And then I was like, now I have children, and I'm a black woman in Australia. What can I do for myself? What can I do greater than what I am already? Like what I feel like. I feel like there's always an opportunity for me to develop more, to be more. I
Right.
always felt in myself like I wasn't really fulfilling the purposes, what I feel like God has called me to be or whatever. Like I feel like there's too much more fire within me. There's too much more energy. There's
like
too much
that.
more opportunities. Like I'm not exploring myself within myself enough yet. I wanted to learn, push my boundaries, know who I am, and I just want to. I'm seeing like there's a lot of people doing good, doing
Yeah.
like. I feel like they're happy. They're doing things that like sometimes like I'm like they're exhaling. I mean, one time I tried up. I was in this leadership program, and when I was there, all these young people, I was like, they were young. Like we were put in a age group, right, range,
Yeah.
and it was like, you have someone who's like about 30, 30 or 27, a lecturer in UW
Amazing.
who is, lecturing mathematics and engineering. And I was like, wait a minute. And then they're doing more. They're creating this. Some are scientists. Some are like 20, whatever.
They're doing like big things.
They're
I
doing.
admire that.
Yeah. And I was like, I was like, I can do more. So I decided like, you know what? I'm going to try out with the NDIS, the business
Nice.
thing. I'm going to try that. That would teach me leadership as well.
Nice.
Because obviously it's gonna be under my name. I'm the one starting it. I'm gonna be a leader within the space, and I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna create some substance for myself and my children and like the future to come. Like I had that vision, so I'm like, okay. So then I started to look into it, started to study a little bit, regardless of the fact that I came from a social work background and stuff like that. Like, but I still had to learn to understand how the system kind of work like. So I ventured into that. So now I have the company, which is called
That's great.
Opia Health Services.
Tell the
Okay.
story behind the name.
Say
So,
Opia.
for the benefit of the audience, I checked her out, like
Yeah.
when we were organizing this when we were producing this episode, and
Oh,
she's got a nice website. It's presentable.
thank you.
And then it looks very much like her Instagram as well. So that's cute. But the name though, like Opia.
yeah.
I mean,
I
if I
like
feel
that.
sick and I was on a wheelchair,
yeah.
I wouldn't mind like, just take me to Opia.
Yeah.
I think
He
Opia
would
is the
mind
place.
some opium.
yeah.
Opia healthcare.
Exactly, you know?
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you. Yeah.
It looks pretty. So what's the story behind the name?
So Opia, the female version is Opia. Well, is our name. It's a name in my father's dialect. So basically, Opia, it's basically means little god or a king, or it can also be a question kind of thing. But it's just the short version of it. It's like when you say Opia, when you ask a question, is this for the king? Is this for the god?
Oh, I like
Opia.
that. Wow.
Something like that. Yeah.
like
So
that.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
and it's also my middle name. I mean, it happens to be my name, so
I like that. Opia.
it's short for
I
it.
know what to call you now. Forget Lydia.
Yeah, I know,
My
right?
God.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Opia is
that
so
one
much better.
Yeah.
Gone with the wind.
If I'm in if I'm in like good books, my mother and everything,
Oh,
like
that's
it
so
does sugar me
nice.
nicely.
Oh, that's so nice. I like
So
that.
it's like when they say that, I'm like, yeah, I've
Opia.
done something correct,
Amen.
something perfect. I'm like, yeah, I'll be skipping along.
Oh, that's
Yes.
yes.
How is
Yeah.
how's it going with Opia? Because recently, like the new budget figures that just came out, and look, 52 or something, 57 billion
Billion,
dollars
yeah.
allocated to NDIS, national. By the way, NDIS stands for the National Disability
The
Insurance Scheme.
Yeah.
It's a government program that is meant to fund or to support the care of the disabled and
Yeah,
sort of
people living with
mentally and
disabilities.
physically challenged
Yeah.
citizens of Australia.
Yeah.
That means there's going to be a lot of money in that industry.
There is a lot of money in that
Yeah.
industry. I think it is not even. I think it is a lot of money in there. So just if you're doing the right thing, you're doing some. You know how to run your business. You're doing the right correctly and everything. You definitely prosper. It just takes a lot of work in the start, but eventually, as time goes, you will definitely see.
You have access to
Yeah.
clients.
Yeah, I think the most difficult, from my perspective, is just it's management and aspects of things and obtaining clients. So because you're looking after vulnerable people at
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
same time, and then also for them to others to see that you're good. You have to prove yourself.
Oh, yes, of
Yeah,
course.
you can't.
To also obviously gain clients.
Yeah, yeah. Because
you
if you're giving a good service, and they can tell. Sometimes you don't have to speak. It's just what you do markets itself for you.
Exactly.
But before you get to that level, the work you put in
It's a lot.
is
Quite a
a
lot.
lot. Yeah.
So along down that sort of timeline, where are you beyond survival now? You're in the game, or
I feel like I'm in between. Like I think I've stepped into it.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, I'm in there. I
Okay.
have learned a lot. So I understand the compliance aspect of things, and
Yeah.
I'm doing okay.
That's
But
good.
now where I want to work more into it is obtaining the clients,
Yeah, I get
getting
you.
clients to me. So now is like, how can I do that?
Yes.
Who can I network with? Who can I speak to?
Yes,
Who can
that's
come
exactly
into
right.
the zone? Where can I go?
How many do you
No.
have now? How many clients?
you're not obligated to
Yes.
answer that
yes,
question?
thank you very much.
Oh, you don't have to.
Yeah, thank
don't
you.
want to.
Yeah,
But on that
we are
point,
working.
before we while you hold that thought, on the point of like networking, who can you talk to? We had a conversation.
I mean,
with
I'm
her.
here, guys.
Exactly.
Exactly. This
I'm
is
here.
networking.
Yes.
This
We
is
were-
networking
Yeah.
on its own.
We had a chat with her
Excuse me.
some time ago about you, Linda, and
Yeah, we had a
this
conversation.
venue and how because within that NDIS space, you have to be quite creative as well. Getting once you get the client, you also have the funding.
Yeah.
Now, with that funding, though, it's not a plain like that. You also either have to kind of spend it for you to for that same funding profile to progress into the following year.
Right.
You have to kind of make use of it, and then what
Yeah.
you don't spend reflects, and they'll give you lesser the following year
Yeah.
because you didn't spend.
Oh no!
Yeah.
You want to spend then?
Yes, exactly. But then
Yeah.
how you spend it is
Utilize
the
them.
challenge because you have to be pretty creative with that as well.
Wow.
And then within that, it's within the regulations and the care plan, and
Yeah.
And the
it's
goals.
Yeah.
Well,
the
first-
same the compliance you were referring to earlier. But before we continue, I was saying we had a conversation about how that NDIS space can then kind of use this
How
lounge
this
space
lounge
as well.
can
Yeah.
be used.
Yeah.
And we talked
Yeah.
about it, and she disappeared.
No, it didn't disappear. It's still there. It's still there because
But
we.
if you could, for the sake
No,
of the
no,
audience, if you could
okay.
you kind of describe what
Yeah,
we
sure,
talked
sure,
about.
sure. So I think with one of the challenges is finding activities and things for a lot of the
Oh.
participants. By the way, they don't use the word.
What did I
They
say?
don't use clients.
Participants.
The proper word,
Participants.
yeah, consumers or participants,
Right.
because they're participating.
Of course.
So it's finding activities and things for them to do, because most of them, especially the community access, they're supposed to
Excuse me.
come into the community and do regular things like everyone does.
Yeah.
Because the idea of exclusion and seeing them different is we're trying to get away from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So-
you have to integrate them back into the community.
So
Yes.
that's the word. So we spoke about this space and thought about, hey, this can be utilized for karaoke. Have a karaoke night,
Definitely.
karaoke day, and also we spoke about art, like drama and
painting
stuff like that.
lessons or
Yeah, just
something.
having people come together, having them come together, enjoy their time. If it's for 2-3 hours, they love it.
Yes, I like
Yeah.
that.
So-
I mean, we can always, you know,
Yeah.
accommodate
Yeah,
where is necessary.
yeah.
You
And it
know.
becomes
So
a
under
regular.
like
together.
to use the specific terms, under the sort of community participation program or initiative, so to speak,
Yeah.
then she would host, as a provider, she
Yeah.
would host a space for people who are within that scheme to come and then do something that they enjoy. So if it's
Yeah.
karaoke, they can come and then do the
Absolutely. I like
singing,
that.
Yeah.
and then make it sort of arrange the space that can accommodate the type of people who are coming. So it can't be this. We have to rearrange
Yeah,
it.
we have to make
kind
sure
of-
it's suitable.
That's be like sort of
for their needs
safer.
and the safety, yeah.
No
Safety
alcohol
comes
should
first
be
and
on the
Obviously,
premises, kind of
yeah.
arrangement. Just for a
Just-
couple of hours.
Yeah,
But then-
definitely something we
Because
can
it's
look into.
wheelchair friendly as well, you know.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, so we have to make sure safety comes first. Yeah.
So the idea had gone to the point where we had thought if we could develop the product or the service and then put it onto her website. So as the provider, she would provide the option of having this event at such an event space like
Yeah.
this one.
Absolutely, I think that's a great initiative. I
Yeah.
mean, if there's anything here to do, these activities, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, the space provides everything from, like you say, painting,
Yeah.
the ambience of the river, or
Yeah. I know.
Riverside.
Even
vibe.
like I was looking at the drums there, I'm like, oh my god, can you imagine having drumming classes?
yeah, trying to get
Yeah,
some-
for
that's
sure.
Amazing, because
Yeah,
that
literally.
promotes, like, especially with participants with the autistic.
Oh,
the
they
touch,
do like the
the,
whole sensory or
yeah, sensory,
something.
thank you.
But
Yeah,
that's something
stuff
that
like
you would know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like,
And then through this networking conversation, you would kind of find a way of talking to
Yeah,
Linda.
let's do
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
mean, we can always liaise further, you know, following the
Yeah.
podcast
Yes,
and
definitely.
exchange cards or whatever and get the participants participating.
yes.
But yeah, sounds good. I like
Yeah.
the initiative. I like it. I like it
Yeah.
so much.
And and the participants definitely doesn't mean they have to come from my servers.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
The advertisement and stuff like that. Yeah, of course. They will, I'm sure. they will-
Another thing that has recently happened, for your information, Linda, in that industry is, in the past it was very centralized.
Right.
It is like they were keeping them safe or something like that.
Oh,
It wasn't. It was a
right,
bit.
yeah.
The system was protecting them from the sort of
the
public
outer
reach.
community.
But that has changed recently, where you can literally have an access from yourself directly to a participant.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the vice versa. So the participant is now a bit more independent to reach out to
Yeah.
you if they
Total
like what
control.
you're doing.
They can
Have someone have their provider arrange it so that
Yeah.
they can come and be part
they
of it.
have the rights. I mean, like, I don't know why I didn't do that earlier, to be honest. Like,
Well, that was my
Capable.
job, though. I mean, that's why.
That's why we have a consultant
yeah.
in the middle of to play the middle part.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think
Yeah.
you seem proud of what you are doing, as far as you know, looking at it from a grass is always greener on another the other end. You know, you're admiring other people and not knowing you have something within you that you can also bring to the table.
I know.
But I think, as a young foxy lady, as you seem to be, you know, you can bring a lot to the
Thank
community
you.
as a whole. You
I
know,
would
with the job
love
that you
to.
do. How is it running your own business? What are the challenges would you say you do face on a day-to-day basis? And what is your day-to-day?
What does that look like?
Yeah, what does it look
Oh
like?
my god, I'm always having. You get up. If
It sounds challenging.
it is, I think
Sounds involving, not challenging per
you
se.
have to.
But
Yeah, you have to be self-involved. I mean, at the moment where I am, how I'm seeing things, like I'm just chasing. I'm knocking in every door, like
Oh, I
going
get you,
here,
like
there, and there, and there.
leads and so
Yes, yeah. So you have to physically, mentally, like prepare yourself. Like you have to communicate. You have to literally.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, they
you
do
have
say
to have
when you do
confidence.
have your first couple of clients, it's then pretty smooth going, not so much easy going, because nothing is easy in life.
The more
But
clients you
pick
get, and
up
then
it's smooth sailing, so to speak.
at the moment, I feel like I'm everything. I'm doing most things by myself. So and then yeah, so I reckon I reckon the more I get participants and stuff like that, then I'll become more of managing.
Oh,
I
get
have
you.
to then get people in certain places like
You do have
position.
access to staff, right? In case you got
I
extra
can,
work.
yeah, definitely. I can always liaise with other organizations as well. Like you can actually do partnerships, but with that also I think comes trust.
Yeah.
Of course.
And all that in place.
So what did it take then for you to move from gap year after gap year to here you are now? You know, it's not like
Yeah, so
overnight
now I'm like
difference right there.
businesswoman.
What was it? Was it the kids that grounded you?
I would say yes. If it wasn't for my kids, I swear I would not be in Perth. I feel like Perth is so dead.
Oh dear.
No, not even.
You must be a Sagittarius, girl. Like seriously, you wanna fly?
Yeah. Oh my.
I love
I
it.
don't know. Maybe in terms of you have to know what you're doing. You have to have connections with people. I think that's the way in Perth, but with the Eastern States, it's easier to meet people. It's easier. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of culture. There's a lot of just things happening.
Yeah,
You know,
there's a lot of movement.
connections.
There's a lot of I
It's
get
easier
you.
to meet people
Yeah.
and get connected. But as in Perth, we are still, we're not like that.
Same circle,
yeah,
same, group,
circle.
same environment.
Yeah.
Maybe people in Sydney say the same thing. It's all about
Yeah.
Well,
we seem to
from
stick
from
together.
my
We're
my
doing good
previous
stuff, I feel like.
experience though, what happens a lot of the time, including that girl who made a scene in your restaurant the other night, the one who went to Germany and Melbourne and stuff. Usually, the trend I've noticed is you find that WA is too small.
Yeah.
You don't have a big enough market, so you want to
Yeah.
go somewhere larger, like Sydney, Melbourne, or
Yeah.
Brisbane, or
Test
something.
the waters. Bring yourself
They go
out.
there, they struggle so hard.
Yeah.
They come right back.
They come
and
right
say,
back.
You
This
know
is
what?
home.
When I come back, where it's a bit more quiet,
And now you
where it's
see-
more
They
get
predictable.
tired,
Yeah.
No.
And now it's like
Perth
this is why I've called home Perth
This
home
is-
for like
Yeah.
however many years I've been here.
In my opinion,
I think Perth is good.
since Perth is so small and then there's a lot of imposter syndrome happening,
Oh dear.
it would be great for like those of us who are serious with stuff to get to know each other real quick so we
Oh,
can start doing some amazing
I like
stuff,
this.
you know.
To be honest,
I
I
like
think we
that.
need more of this.
I think we do.
This is gonna give we need more vision. We need more connections. And if we're doing this and it's creating that,
Exactly.
people will see it. Be like, wait, hold on, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna advertise. I'm gonna talk about myself. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
this. I'm gonna do that. It's gonna open doors for other people.
Yeah.
Then you start talking to other
Yeah,
people.
there's so
this
much
and that and that.
greatness within
Yeah,
us.
there is opportunity here. Perth has got wealth. Perth has got opportunities. Honestly, it's just that who do you go to is the problem. Where is the door? Is
Yeah.
the problem. So then people get tired and just run away to the east, thinking
Yeah.
that's easier.
It's a lot
No,
easier
it's
there,
not
but-
easier.
but then
Definitely not easier.
It's harder there.
But I do, in answering your question though, that
Yeah.
conundrum is a very serious one, you know, where you say,
Yeah.
who are the gatekeepers to the right place? Because you
Yes.
do have a sense that there's people out there.
There is.
There is.
But who are the
You know.
gatekeepers who can give you
Exactly.
access to those people?
Yeah.
Exactly.
One answer is consult Cranston.
Yeah. Find Cranston.
True or
He's a
false, though?
consultant. He's a businessman. He's everything.
You know, academic and
It's-
whatever. The
I
whole,
know.
the whole thing.
It's a brainiac. He's
He's
everything. Yeah.
Not too many, not enough screen. But
I
at
love
the
it.
same time, see, you're doing amazing stuff, Linda,
Yeah.
though. Right?
You are.
Thanks.
Like for those that do not know, there's this really cool spot in
Yeah.
East Perth, and it's not that old, it's pretty new.
Yeah.
And it's got a whole pier, it's right by the riverside.
You understand?
It is
And
beautiful.
they picked not one. So there's a restaurant, and then there's a terrace in the front right by the river in
Yeah.
front, and there's a function room there.
Daring. You know what?
So they went and said, why, go big or go home?
But that's the thing, you know. Why
Grab
have
the
one
restaurant
like
and
two?
the terrace. I mean, why not?
Yes.
Yes.
That's very ballsy.
Yeah.
It's damn ballsy, to be
Yeah.
honest. You know, there are still times where I'm like, what the hell? But like I said, the door opened, and we ain't
Go
gonna be
for it.
stupid to
yeah.
shut it.
Yeah, for sure. Don't ignore it.
We're not gonna ignore it. So we walked right in it, and it's not easy to navigate through it half the time.
Don't give
But
up.
we're swimming. 7 months into it, we
Wow.
can do
7
another
months and
7.
you're
Can
doing,
you
yeah.
believe?
Next time I'm gonna sit here and be like, oh, it's 10 years into it, and it's
Thank
gonna
you.
be
Yeah, for
so
sure.
big.
But within that 7 months,
man.
you guys are doing so well.
Thank you.
Under 12 months.
Thank you.
I mean, the other night you and I were talking. It was a Tuesday, very quiet. It was even raining, and then all of a sudden, here's all these people. They come and then have this big dinner, and then they like for a Tuesday.
For Tuesday,
Yeah, people
And
want
it
to
is
eat
so,
out. You
Yeah,
have no
it is-
idea.
You just never know. It's so diverse. Some days, and it's funny how each day has got its own vibe.
Like every day is a
Funny
different
enough,
day.
every day is a different vibe.
There you go.
It just for real. Like I would have never ever guessed. Driving through Riverside Drive, how many years of my life, living in Perth, that I would be running a business right here
Yeah, on Point Fraser.
on Point Fraser. Number one, being people of color, I have to bring this up. Who would have ever known there'd be an African restaurant standing strong
Yeah.
right here on Point Fraser? You know
Yeah.
what
I mean, it is Point Fraser,
It's
though.
Point
This place is
Fraser.
amazing.
Oh,
East
the-
Coast, come on.
And the
but you know
Yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like, we have a
Yeah.
stamp as people of color right here
Yeah.
on the point. And it all started with Afro-authentic cuisine. We thank God for the opportunity. We ask that this opportunity also, opens doors for other people who thought it can never happen, or how do I do it, or whatever. Because at the end of the day,
You know what? You're the
I've only got
gatekeeper.
one head.
She's just opened the door.
So,
Both!
you know,
What do you mean?
you
She's
know,
opening the gate.
She's
the
only
door,
7
everything.
months old.
I-
guys.
It don't matter.
I-
She's already opened the gate.
I've opened the gate and I'm walking right
Yes.
through it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for
at the end
sure.
of the day, I used to also admire, people who used to do great things. And I'm
Yeah.
like, there's a drive in me. I need to get it out. And where do I go? And who do I go to? And how do I do it? But everyone always finds their way. Everyone finds their path. But like Crankston said, we need to open those ways for people
Yeah.
who don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And it can be this nugget junction,
Yeah.
corner couch that we're speaking.
It is a platform because,
a
again,
platform
you see
to-
that it answers the question that we were talking about earlier, where the people are there, they connect, the network is there, but you don't have access to it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Consult Cranston and Afro Authentic have come together to provide a platform because we do know how serious this problem is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is.
Where, all of those movers and shakers in WA can have
Yeah.
a spot where they can sit down and have these
And
conversations.
it's so exclusive, those movers and shakers. But we need to widen the horizon.
Yeah.
we
It
are.
shouldn't just be about, your little
Elite or
cliquey,
like-
elite people.
No, no, no.
There's eliteness out there.
Yeah.
It just hasn't been discovered.
It is.
So thank you,
I-
Cranston, for opening up those doors as well. For
Yeah.
We're doing some amazing work for Afro Authentic, by the way, so it's good stuff.
Can't wait to
Definitely.
see. I can't wait.
Well, neither
It's
can
gonna
I.
be huge.
We're
I
still
can
seeing, aren't we?
tell. Yes.
We're trying to survive winter. After that,
This
it's back to
winter,
summer.
pepper
Survive
soup,
winter.
the pepper soup will heal us.
Winter warmers.
Winter warmers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you were to give someone some kind of advice, like, so what ground we've established, we have kind of established the connection that what helped ground you was having the kids.
Yeah.
But there's beyond just having kids, there's an imposter syndrome. You can get yourself, we were talking on a previous episode, you enter into this boardroom and you're thinking, oh, I'm the only, sort of person of color in here. And then everyone's there trying to listen to you say something,
Yeah.
So yes, there's grounding, but beyond that, there's also you facing up to your own self
Yeah.
and choosing what direction you want to take. Like you're at a junction point, pun for nugget junction, pun intended.
Pun
But then
intended. is
For
what
those
I'm
who are
getting
right
at.
at that junction point, whether they're fighting fear of the known,
That's
imposter
fighting
syndrome.
fear
I
business,
think
eh?
fear is the
That's
biggest
the
enemy.
biggest.
how do
Oh
they
my
take that
God.
leap of faith?
You just gotta get up and do it. Like, if there's something in you that you feel like is in there, regardless of how crazy, of how people will look at you crazy ways, like whatever, just try, because you never fail. if you try.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Yeah.
You'll never know if you don't try.
Fear is not
And-
real. Fear
yeah.
is just
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Just take the leap. Along the way, you will meet people that will come along on your path to support you, to help you. Because if it's really supposed to be what you're supposed to be in,
Exactly. You'll
I don't
be in
think
it.
you'll fail.
It'll work out.
Yeah.
And if it's in your passion and you're working
Yeah.
towards it, I don't think you'll fail.
yeah, don't let
So,
your hunger
so are you saying
die.
that we should leave some room for luck? Give luck a chance, or just does luck play a role in all of this?
Good question.
Because you get entered the door, and then now there are these people you need to start meeting, and the connections.
I would say
Oh,
you make.
no,
I would
not
say
Is
you
it a bit
need
of luck?
luck
Entering
along
the
the
door,
way.
finding that door is the problem
Yeah.
in the beginning. once you found it, there's no luck.
Yeah.
Luck was finding that door.
Yeah.
And then it stayed there. After that, it's up to you now. Does that make sense? Once you've entered that door, you start doing what you gotta do.
So basically,
Start
you have to be
walking.
the one to get up first. You meet luck along the way.
As
Luck
we are.
never leaves you.
Exactly.
it's-
I like
I
that.
Luck
reckon
is
luck
for everyone.
plays a bit.
Alright.
You know, it's. I think luck is an
If you're truly
acknowledged
blessed,
underdog that deserves a bit more.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Because-
I believe so too.
Yeah.
I think
that's true.
we would not have met had it not been.
Exactly.
You know, I don't even know what actually. Oh, there's a Zimbabwean guy who said you guys were having that event that you were doing the opening thing, but it was like you and your husband's
Oh yeah.
thing.
Oh,
He
you
had
knew about
invited
that.
me. Yeah, he had invited me to come, but I thought, nah, for who? What are they called? Afro what? Nah, another one.
Look at him now. He can't leave the damn joint.
What turned you off?
I
The
love
name?
It
Afro?
was
Good
unexpected.
question. What turned
And
you
it was
off?
kind of like unexpected. It sounded okay,
Cliche? What is it? What do you want to say?
but I don't
Tell
know.
us.
I'm trying to edit. I'm censoring myself. But it just didn't move me.
right.
Oh, okay.
And then when I heard, so I asked the characters, who are they? Who are the players? Oh, there's a Nigerian guy. Congo, like,
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, all right,
this
I'll
guy.
pass.
Oh, what do
And
you
then
mean?
after a while,
Now he can't stay away.
after a while, I came
He's
through
a
for a
regular.
meal. Someone had said, "Let's go eat there because we had some stuff to talk about." And then that conversation was really important for me.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Look, I'm going to go there. Let's do this thing because I needed to get this conversation out of the way."
Yeah.
And the food was kind of good. Like
Of course.
you know, like Afro beats are playing, so it feels a bit like okay, vibey.
Yeah.
Then the food is kind of good, and you were not there on the day.
Right.
Jules was the head chef, and she came out and she was very hospitable. What do you need?
Nice.
The friend that I was with didn't know much of the dishes and whatever, so
Right.
she took the
Became
time
the
to
master.
explain the
Right.
stuff, and we ordered the food, and it was as expected, and we enjoyed it.
Nice.
Then after that, I was like, you know what, Afro authentic.
Yeah. He dropped the
We're
mic.
here now.
Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's pretty for listeners and viewers out there, whether you're in WA or afar.
Calm down.
Oh, you
Guaranteed.
Guys check this place out.
You have to.
Yeah,
Something
Afro
about
authentic is
Afro-authentic.
it is really cool. It's a cool
There's
spot.
something about Afro Authentic.
Don't
And
be
look-
like me. Try everything because to that eight.
On the point, Queen
It's
Fraser.
on the point. Amen.
Yes.
25 to be accurate.
Yes.
Let me put it this way. Even when we started off the business, we didn't know how well people would take it.
Yeah.
We just knew it was required. It was necessary. It was needed. We need somewhere we can chill, enjoy our meals, enjoy the vibes, as you said, our music. Somewhere we can call home, you know.
Yeah.
Many a times I've been out and about and I'm not connecting.
Nowhere.
No.
There's
I'm not
nowhere
connecting.
in
I'm not
WA.
going to Burswood. I've been to
No, yeah,
Northridge. I've been to
exactly.
Subi. Oh, you can only do a night or two here and there.
Yeah.
But there's something missing for us as
Yeah,
Africans.
that's so true.
So when
That
I say
is
it was
so
needed,
true.
I'm telling you, this is home for us.
Yeah.
Not to say other nationalities are not welcome.
You're welcome.
That's another
Well, you can come home
widening of the story. You
once
know?
you're done
We need
go-
to let
loitering
y'all
around.
know
Come
what
home.
Afro vibes are all
Loitering
about,
and
bring the
come
flow through. But there's
Yeah.
something about this place. Y'all have to check it
Yeah.
out. And it's not me. It is not my husband. It is not you. It is just the vibe, the location,
Yeah.
their food, their music, their venue. Everything just came through, you know, together in
Yeah.
one very spicy.
And it's still spicing us. I love it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's still spicing
it's still
us.
very spicy. There's something
Yes.
about this place. I don't know how
Can't
to explain
describe it. Can't give a
describe
word to it. It's
Can't give
just
a word to it.
If you can summarize it, like in my words, it would be give luck a chance,
Yes.
and take that leap.
Yes.
Yeah.
The way I normally put it, I read it once in a book. It's jump, and then you grow the wings on your way down.
Ooh, I like that. I like
You
that.
know, don't wait for the wings and say, "Oh, now I'm ready to fly." Just jump,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
on
yeah.
your way down, hopefully
Yeah,
you've jumped on
yeah,
a really
yeah.
high ledge.
I know, right?
But on your way down, you
Massive
grow the
landing.
wings.
But it's true.
Step by step.
You won't know if you don't try, for sure.
yeah.
One of my junction moments was I was kind of bored with the employment system here. You know, the per hour pay and all that stuff. It means you have to constantly be productive.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work and, you know,
Pressure.
it never gives you room to think for yourself.
Yeah.
And
Routine.
I got to the point where I thought, you know what, I have to make a choice between. Because again, what you said earlier was you have that drive in you. You know you're good for something.
Yeah.
You're amazing at something. But then
Yes.
it's sort of employment blocks you.
Yeah.
So taking the leap from employment to now depending on yourself and then thriving at your own self.
Amen.
It took me 5 years, just for the purpose of the podcast, it took me 5 years of preparing
That's a long time.
to jump off
That's a long
from
time.
employment. Yeah.
Good job.
I mixed a lot of academic stuff in there as well, like train.
Yeah.
But when I decided to build Consult Cranston as a business development agency,
yeah.
Sorry.
it wasn't as simple as just saying, hey, look, I'm an educated consultant. Ask me anything
Yeah.
and I could find out for you if I don't know it. It goes beyond that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What I ended up, why it took that 5 years is I had to build the infrastructure to support when I say that we can do this for you. It's not like I'm a
Exactly.
middleman and I'm going to go somewhere to get it cheaper and then provide you the
No,
service.
no. You had to get it yourself.
I have to
within
be able
your
to
own business.
Exactly, and then we create those solutions. So every solution that we build, whether it's business strategy, it's marketing, it's connections,
That's
it's
tough.
podcasting.
Wow.
We literally create your solution, custom solution to what you're facing at the time,
I like that.
and then we were able to do it across several businesses. So at the same time, we can create. Right now, we're at the capacity of 25 business strategy solutions happening at the same time,
Wow, that's
implementing at the same time,
Yeah.
across industries.
Massive.
Oh.
So we had to
portfolio.
kind of build that first before we could then say, you know what, I can go to Ayo. Ayo is the gentleman who's at the back here. I don't know why he's not using the mic.
Yeah, this time you don't talk.
I wonder why he hasn't said anything the whole time.
He's been quiet.
Oh dear, you wonder.
So,
Hey yo.
but at the same time, though, once you're in business and you're dealing with your day to day and your bottom line, I think it's one thing to promise that you can do something, and it's another to actually do it. So if you say that you are now transitioning into being an NDIS provider, there's a difference between registering and going through the documents and then getting a website and say, hey, I can do this now.
It's a lot.
It's another thing when you've
It's
got
another
3
layer.
people, in quote, with some kind of disability and challenges, and all of them are pretty freaky, in their own kind of unique way.
and managing.
You have to
that,
look
as you
after
said.
them.
You have to manage all of that, the
Management side of the
incidents that
industry.
happen within that, what comes with that.
Because you're held liable to anything. 'cause now
Exactly.
You're in charge of.
So it's one thing to promise it. It's another thing to actually deliver
Do
it
it, yeah.
consistently at a high quality.
Exactly.
Continuously have to engage in learning as well, like to better yourself, to know more, to do more. Yeah, it's ongoing. It's not
Ongoing
yeah.
development.
Yeah.
It's true,
Well-
Cranston, as you said.
Yeah.
We're just looking at you, all right, consult Cranston. As though you woke up yesterday and said, "Hey, I'm starting up a whole company." You got bills to pay, family to feed. You had
That's
to,
true.
obviously think again before you,
Yeah.
take yourself.
Take the leap.
to
The,
that-
the numbers have to match, but at the same time, you have to be afloat.
Yeah.
Because if you're caught up in the survival stage of all the bills you have to meet so that you can continue doing
Yeah.
something,
You'll
then you
never
have
do
to
it.
move from there to the point where you have to create or invent new revenue streams. You don't just depend on the one thing.
Yeah.
You then build outside. In your case, for example, right
Yeah.
now you're doing Afro Authentic, you're
Yeah.
jumping into podcasting.
Yes, exactly.
Podcasting will come and do its own thing. Again, we're
Yeah,
giving
you're gonna-
luck a try.
You're gonna
Exactly.
And
keep
then
going.
it's going to
Exactly.
bring that audience or
Exactly.
whoever it is. And then that'll be another revenue stream which will add on to whatever it is that you're doing.
That's so true. So I think you're amazing at what you do.
Yeah.
Working with you over the last 4 or 5 months. Maybe I don't say this enough to you, but I couldn't have asked for a better consultant. You have stuck to us, by our side, in terms of, finding us clients, in terms of just not making this about Afro food, getting us out there, meeting people, meeting businesses, meeting other great people like you. And who knows where this can go, you know what I mean? So thank you, and I appreciate you for that. Keep doing what you do. You and your team are doing amazing. And yeah, what else can I say?
He's amazing.
Yeah, nah, what you're doing is amazing. And I'm
Incredible.
sure
And your
I can
team.
see why you're saying
And
you
your
didn't just stay 2 years or 1 year or whatever.
Yeah, it
You
took
didn't
a
just
while.
get up and started,
No.
consulting. Like you said, there must have been processes behind all that, managing whatever you had to do to get to where you are,
It's
great.
you're jumping. I think right now I'm still falling. I've grown some wings, but I think we're still we
The
are.
wings are still growing, which is good.
There's so much
Yeah,
potential in
definitely.
WA. Although people think like the ones who go out and then come back. I think there's just because we're so small, the
Yeah.
amount of money that's available
In WA.
in WA as a local economy can
Are we
very
not the
well.
richest state?
Yeah, we are. We're the one that contributes the highest GST to
I
Australia.
think the money issue is not the problem at all.
Just the
People just think, again, grass is better, greener out there.
Yeah, on the other side.
No, it's not. It's not. Just stick with what you know and what you've got, and it'll just come to you, to be honest.
Having said that, thank you so much for coming on the show. We have to wind this one down. We could go on for, hours, but people's attention spans on the internet nowadays. One of the things that we are meaning to do with this show is to come up with these conversations. And these are nuggets for the people who are going to listen. Those who are at those junction points, what do they need to do?
Yeah.
And then including those who've made the leap, who need the connections to continue to grow. That's what we're here to do. That's what the show is meant for. And thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you.
I just have one question, please, before we wrap up.
Sure.
What is your must-see destination?
Oh my! I want to go to Cuba.
Oh, nice. What is it
Yeah.
about Cuba that you like? Cubano.
I've been to Cuba.
Yeah.
Several
Finally,
times.
the
Yeah.
I love it.
It's nice, right?
Yeah, I live in the Bahamas for over 20 years,
Right.
and Cuba is just.
And
makes us-
Nigeria and in Bahamas. What are you doing there?
Hey, you don't
think I
want to
like
know.
Yeah, the joints have been everywhere.
I know, right? Y'all are everywhere. Y'all need to just go back.
Who is that
I
professor
know.
in Kenya? He said if you go anywhere and you don't find a Nigerian, specifically an Igbo man,
Just
leave
go
that
back.
place.
There's no progress there.
Nothing
They will not have business being there.
Yes, you have no business being there. Honestly,
Cuba. I got
yeah,
my
I would
answer.
love to go
Let
to
me,
Cuba.
let me tell you all a story.
Let's hear it.
Somebody went to Greenland.
Mm.
And you know how cold it
Thing
is in Greenland?
Shouldn't be
I
called
thought it was
Greenland.
green.
Exactly. Well, apparently,
It's ice.
I love it.
it's very cold in Greenland. So
It's icy.
And then he went to Iceland and it was very warm. It was green everywhere. Like,
It was green.
Finish me now.
I
I
know.
love it.
and while he was there, he saw the only black man there and he says, "Oh man," he said, "Where could this man have come from?" And approaching this man, speaking to him, he found out that he's actually from Nigeria.
There was something good in Iceland.
there was something
Wow,
happening
there was
there.
something good in Iceland.
Yes.
Or is it Greenland?
Green-
One of those lands.
Well, thanks
I love
for
it.
being with us up until this point. This
you.
episode was partially sponsored by the Beautifiers. We've tried to put their hoodie on the table. It was a bit problematic because I don't think I'm too good at folding fabrics.
You need to go back to retail. Did
Yeah.
you? Did
Yeah,
you
it
ever
was
work in
something like that
retail?
for sure. Nah.
I believe you did when you were a teen there in that ShopRite in Zambia.
Actually, I skipped all of that. Once I finished, I went straight into this army stuff. Long story.
you went
Oh,
So
wow.
you want to kill
Amazing.
people. Just
No,
saying.
I didn't. We've never suffered war.
No, that's
So
true.
it was more of a gap year kind of thing. You go for
Right.
that, and then 2
You go
years or
find
something.
yourself.
Then exactly. Go lose yourself, and then
Yeah,
find,
more like
find something.
Yeah.
Yes.
But thanks for being with us.
Okay, thank
We
you.
look forward to hearing more of your story as you
Definitely.
go.
And we'll
I
link up to business.
Once we do this
Yes.
karaoke thing, maybe we can come and do a part 2 so that we can let them know how it
We
went.
definitely
Yeah,
have to
that'd
just
be
let them know
good.
how it went, how it's going. I think that would be great. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome.
And Krista,
Thank you for
me.
coming to the Nugget Junction.
Yes. The place
Next
to
trip.
be out.
Next road trip.
Next road trip. We're going to Zambia, no?
Yes.
Are we not looking after our Zambian brothers?
Yes.
Next.
Chooch, chooch.